Team Prep USA Winter Camp in Florida, the perfect investment for their future. The future runs now with Team Prep USA.
Mr. Tim Rourke, affectionately known as the voice of Foot Locker Nationals out here in San Diego. Beautiful Hotel Del. The Foot Locker experience, Tim, you've been coming to this event and been associated with this event since 1981, a very, very long time. When we talk about the Foot Locker experience, what does that mean? What makes this event so special in so many ways?
I think if you look at the results over the years, every American distance record that's important, every American medal that we've won in the World Championships or Olympic Games, for any American born after 1970 that was born in the U.S., you take out the foreigners who became American citizens, but all those records and all those medals have all been won by guys and girls that have one thing in common. They participated in the Foot Locker. They either came and they won somebody, or they ran really well, or they had to deal with the frustration of not making it, but the one common bond all of those people have is they ran in the Foot Locker, or the Kinney at one time.
You know, it takes a special kind of runner, a special type of person to be able to tackle Balboa Park and Morley Field. What's it take to run fast and do battle with the hill and the downhill?
Yeah, it's an interesting. The hill is a pretty steep hill, and it comes up twice, obviously. So it's a difficult part of the course. You can use it sometimes to try to get away, but there's too many good kids. I think you can't take that first time through really hard. Otherwise, you just can't hang on to it. And the second time, I think that's where the race is won and lost. I think you really have to move that second time on that big hill. If you're not either in the lead or right near the lead at the top of the hill in the second time, and it's only a half mile and it's all downhill to the finish. So I think the hill plays a part where you have to be respectful the first time and you have to be aggressive the second time.
You know, the last couple of years, we've seen some great runners come through, especially when you look back. Edward Cheserek, the winner the last 2 years, NCAA champion as a freshman. You know, that has only happened a couple of times in the Foot Locker experience with Bob Kennedy and Edward winning this year. When you take a look at the regional champions, which one of those guys do you think really has a good shot? Because most of the time, history says it's going to be a regional champion.
Yeah.
Or do you see somebody maybe stepping up that didn't win the regional, and they're going to claim the Foot Locker National Championship tomorrow?
You know, experience plays a big part in it, especially on the boys' side, because they're always older. The boys are always older. The girls make it as freshmen, sophomore. But Aaron Templeton, the kid from the South, I really like him. I think he's strong. I think he's built for this course. You've heard about the 8:54 time trial that he ran a couple weeks ago. You know, he has run well all year. I really like Matthew Mayton, also from Oregon, undefeated this year. You know, beat some very good runners up in the Northeast all year. So I think those two, if you're pressing, I think those are the two that really kind of would be the favorites, if anybody, because there's no Edward Cheserek this year, that's for sure. So it could be any of those guys, but those would be my two, I think. So.
Great racing conditions, not a whole lot of rain. The course is in fabulous shape. We had a chance to go through it today. Way back, Ruben Reyna, 14:36, the course record here at Balboa. Is that in jeopardy tomorrow?
I don't think so. It's going to be a little warm tomorrow. You know, we were kidding around. It's going to be in the 70s, but that's a warm 70 here. And first time for many of these kids where it's been any kind of warm at all. So I think you might see a little bit slower pace. You also don't have anybody to push it unless one boy decides, I'd like to take a gamble and see what I can do and push the pace. But that 14:36, I mean, you look at all the great runners like Cheserek and Lucas Verbickas and those kids who have come along, who have come close to it. That race and that 16:39 by Melody Fairchild on this course, those may be the two finest high school races ever. So if you're talking about approaching those, you're talking about being an 8:42 miler for a boy to run that fast, and a girl to be a sub 10-minute 2 miler, or even 9:45 or so, to approach those kind of levels. So these two records here are really phenomenal. Maybe the two best high school races ever.
Really, really solid girls field. We're missing some of the top talent from across the U.S. that participated last week at NXN. How do you see the girls race playing out?
Well, interesting, because Anna Rohrer, who was our defending champion, was great last year, and you really thought she was going to be the one, but she's hurt, so she's not coming back. I like McKenna Morley, the girl from Montana. 3 times Montana state champ, won the regional by 20 seconds last week under tough conditions. She's very strong, and I think that really plays into well here. I like Caroline Alcorta, the girl from the South, also. I think she's got a good shot, but I really like Morley. I think that she's ready, and experience plays the part. This will be her 3rd year. She was 24th last year, 9th as a freshman. I think she's in great shape. She looks really fit, and she looked really good in the regional.
One last question, we'll get you out of here. You really enjoy calling the Foot Locker National race, don't you?
Oh, very much. It's a great time. It's 40 kids. There are a lot of good kids who tried to get here who couldn't get here. One of the unique things you asked about Foot Locker earlier is with the regionals, you can't have a bad day and be on a good team and get here because the team brought you. You can't get here at large. The only thing you can get here is to run in your regional and run really well. There's some great kids who tried to get here who didn't get here. So the 40 that got here, it's a special day for them. And there's a lot of pressure. It's interesting and it's fun to see. I think it's the first steps that kids take to becoming on the international stage. And this is where it has to happen, where they have to come in as individuals. There's no coach with them. There really aren't their parents with them. This is their time, and I think it's exciting to see the birth of our next Olympian, the birth of our next medalist. We're going to see that tomorrow.
The voice of Foot Locker, Mr. Tim Rourke. Thank you very much. Since 1981, helping out with Foot Locker. Thank you very, very much. We look forward to a great race tomorrow.
My pleasure. I look forward to it too.